Hi everyone. I've been getting the big question of the year. Who sits in the front seat? Your mom or your wife? Okay, to me, let me just leave it this way. To me, the problem is not the front seat. The problem is the respect you have for either your mother-in-law or your daughter-in-law. And the main problem here that I see on all these TikTok videos and in every case is that the mother-in-law, she acts like her son's wife, and no. It just doesn't work that way. And I hear all these people, oh, well, your mom should come first because that's the woman that gave you life and blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of people go to church, and I respect that. I never go to church. And I respect people that do go to church. But 99% of the people that go to church, they go to pick on their boogers because they don't pay attention to shit that the priest says. Have you ever been to a wedding? Everybody's going to be like, yeah. Most of us were married. And what do we say in our vows? Screw the wife, she's replaceable. Or screw the husband. There's a lot of men out there, so screw him. Don't be loyal. I don't hear any of that part in the vows. And to begin with, none of us are replaceable, because I hear this all the time. Oh, you only have one mother. Or your son, it's always going to be your son. Or your daughter's always going to be your daughter. Wife's replaceable, or husband's replaceable. Okay, so let's say that, I have 10 kids. One of them dies. Oh, who cares? I'll just tell my husband to make me another one. No, that's not how it works. No one's replaceable. You can't replace a wife. You can't replace a mother. You only got one of them. You can't replace a child even if you have 100 of them. None of us are replaceable. So I just can't believe all these idiots that say, wife's replaceable, husband, you're not replaceable. Of course, if I'm widow, a decade from now I could be married and have more kids. Yeah, that could happen. But that doesn't mean that as a wife I'm worth less. Or as a mother you're worth more because you just can't have another mother. Or because your wife could divorce you and go with another man, that doesn't make her worth less than your son. What's going to happen when you're in your 80s? Your son's not going to be there making love to you. Your son's going to be married with his own grandkids, with his own life, separate from you. And if you're lucky, you'll see him once a month, because 90% of the time, they ban their parents, and it doesn't matter how family or kids they are. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, he's my son. He'll always be my son. Yeah, congratulations, but where is he? I don't know. I haven't seen him in over a decade. I hear that all the time. So it's like, you're not worth less for being a wife. You're not worth more for being a mom. And it's not about who comes first, who comes second. It's about the respect that you have to cleave to your wife, husband. And if your husband and wife are not your priority, just don't get married. Just don't date. Just stay with mommy, take mommy to the doctor, and just live that way. You're not worth it. If you cannot offer a person financial stability, mental stability, and priority, you ain't worth shit. It's just that simple. You're just not worth it. You're not worth the time. You're not worth anything, because there's one thing that you can't replace in life, and that this is not replaceable, actually. Time. It just leaves. Next thing you know, you're 40, 50, 60, and then, you look back and you don't get those years back. So if you think your wife deserves the back seat just because, you could always have another wife and you can't have another mom, then you don't belong being married. It's just that simple. And if you as a person think you deserve to be in second place, then, you have serious issues. You need to go to church, read the Bible, read your vows before you sign the paper of marriage, and maybe take some paralegal classes and just, go over it. Because 90% of marriages have a 90%, I'm sorry, in marriages, you have a 90% chances more higher to succeed in your marriage if your mate is your priority. And the conflict here, coming back to the subject, is not a seat. The problem is not the seat. The problem is the lack of respect for your wife. It's not about having a conflict with your mom. It's like, Mom, I love you. You birthed me, but just help me out here, please. That's my wife. If or it doesn't matter if it's a girlfriend. If she's going to get angry just because, I'm going to put you in the back seat. I'm sorry. If she's going to get mad because you come in the front seat, just don't do it. Because your job is to make your wife happy or your girlfriend happy. And your job as a son is to honor your mom, not to make your mom happy. You need to honor your mom because that's your mom. But your job is to make your wife happy. Even the Bible says all these people pick their boogers every time they go to church, because I don't see anything that church teaches people doing it. And I see everybody in church hitting their chest. For what reason? I don't know what people do in church. I don't know how can anybody sign a paper and not agree to what they're signing. Because that doesn't mean you got to get rid of your kids because, I'm married and my wife said I got to get rid of my kids. you people are twisted. Being a priority is giving the priority to your wife, clinging to your wife. That doesn't mean if I have a cat, I'm married, I got to get rid of the cat just to make his ass happy. That ain't going to happen. Or I'm going to quit my job to make him happy. That's not how it goes either. I'm going to get rid of my mom because she hates her. Or it's just not how it goes. It's just people got it all fucked up in every way, in every aspect. And if I know I'm going to cause a problem to my son by sitting in the front seat, I don't do it. I don't care. I don't do it. She takes the front seat. I don't care. Now, if it's me, I don't care. She sits on the front. I'm not going to argue over a stupid seat. But if he does not cleave to me and give me the priority, he ain't worth to be in my life. He ain't worth it. And you're full of shit if you allow it or if you do it. You just, If your husband is not worth being your priority or your wife, then don't be with him. And I hear this all the time. Oh, she's just a girlfriend. So you have to sign a fucking paper to be worth it? How does that work? If you are a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and they don't have any respect for you just because they don't have a fucking paper signed, then, I don't think, bouncing to marriage, it's worth it. The respect starts when you're dating. And when you're dating, what you see is what you get. And if you don't deserve any respect from him now, you ain't gonna get it later. That's just how it is. And it's just the way I see it. If you cannot offer your wife, your husband, the respect they're asking for, just break up with them. They're not worth your time, and you're not worth their time either. It's just that simple. So you give your wife the front seat, you give your mom the back seat, or just break up and we're all happy. That's just the way I see it. It's up to you, whatever you guys want to do. There's a lot of debates, but if my husband ain't my priority, I ain't worth being his wife. But leave your comments.